Well, first and foremost, thank you for shout out to Hoosier Nation for coming out today and really supporting us, and they were terrific, and we really are grateful for them, coming out. We're disappointed. Obviously, we felt like we had a good game plan for how we were going to go about winning today, and really proud of our group. I thought their effort always, but today in particular, they were dialed in. Was really good. We got really good shots. They didn't go down. As I said to them, those shots go down. I feel like it's going to be a different kind of game and a different outcome for us. So we're disappointed. I thought Chloe was terrific against Kiki. That's a big challenge for her, and one that she was, I know, excited about. Sid Parrish getting into foul trouble, that hurt us a little bit. Couldn't be as aggressive, I think, as we wanted to be. I thought Jules came in and did a nice job off the bench, got a couple charges for us, hit the big three. There were times that, 15 points, I think, off of their turnovers. They scored off of our turnovers in the first half, and you go in and you're down 12. You feel like, okay, we can chip away at this lead if we just take better care of the ball. I thought we did that in the second half. We only had the 2 turnovers. Just shots just didn't fall. Some of that had to do, especially in the first half, I thought the second quarter was really, really tough for us, and I think part of it was UCLA. I thought they sped us up. I think we had 4 moving screens inside of that. And so, things we got to go back, but we'll continue to get, better. And I love, like I said, I loved our fight today. Just, I wish our shots could have gone down. We could have had a few more of those back that would have gone down for us.
What happened in that second quarter? Coach said you got sped up. What do you think kind of happened? What was the difference there between the rest of the game?
I think she mentioned it a little bit, but I mean, first of all, we can't give. We knew they'd go on runs, which is fine, but we can't turn the ball over, have careless mistakes such as the moving screens. That just can't happen in a game like this with a team like that.
Yarden, it didn't seem to affect the effort or anything like that, but when you guys are creating decent shots, which it seemed like you were, and they're not falling, how hard is it to fight through that, especially against a team of their caliber?
I mean, it's obviously frustrating when I have open shot and I'm not making it, but I know my coaches, my teammates trust me to take the next shot, so I'm really confident about my shot because of them. So yeah, it's frustrating, but we have nothing to do with it, and we have to go to the next play. And I'm grateful to have these coaches and this staff and these teammates that keep believing me in those moments.
Chloe, when you're going through a stretch like that in the second quarter, when you guys just can't get shots to fall, what is kind of the message there to try to just rebound from that and get back in the game? We try to focus on both ends, but especially hone in on the defensive end, just getting stops. And we're at our best when we're playing fast, so focusing on that when we can't get those shots in the play, whatever we're running. We just try to play fast instead.
Any other questions for
Chloe, when you play a team that had been beating opponents by like 30 points a game, and you get within 8 a couple times late, how optimistic does it make you about what you can do if some of those shots do fall?
I think we were prepared before the game to always be optimistic anyways. Like I said previously, we knew they would go on their runs and we'd go on our run, so it's just stay on the course.
Yarden, Betts was the dominant figure for them. Is it her height, her maneuverability, her accuracy, or any one particular thing that stands out that made her so tough to cover?
I mean, she's a great player. She has good size. She's strong. Our fights did everything they could. We saw their effort. We tried to do collectively as a team good job on her. She's a great player. Yeah.
All right, we'll go ahead and dismiss Chloe and Yarden. Questions? Good job, you guys.
Yeah, Coach. I mean, with bets, anything you saw that Lily and Caroline could have done differently, and how difficult was the way they were calling the game on them specifically, made it maybe more of an uphill battle?
Well, first of all, I think Lily and Strip were working their tails off. They did everything they could we were trying to push her out, trying to keep her away from the low block, trying to get the leverage from our legs. We were trying to crowd her as much as we could with off of other players, but we call them our money spots, which we're opened up a little bit more and trying to deter the ball from coming inside. And so, yeah, it's frustrating. Yarden hit it on the head. She's a great player, no question about it. Do I feel like I'll just leave it at that.
Okay, well, it's not your first rodeo, so you've had to defend bigs before.
Sure.
What do you learn over time in terms? And there's so many factors that can influence it. The officiating is one of them, and foul trouble and things like that. What do you learn of the bigs that you've had to figure out a way to defend over the years? What are some unimpeachables and some things that tend to work and some things that tend to not work?
Well, we tried to throw. I think every one of our coverages at her, and so you just we know moving forward. Kiki Efron, and I mean there's some really good bigs here in the Big Ten, right? Markowski from Nebraska, and so we're going to have to maybe not fives of that size. But really good fives that we're going to have to be able to guard much better, and so you just continue to look at different ways we can use our coverages, but be better in those coverages. We always feel like there might be one kid out on the perimeter that we feel like we can leave and help with. But I thought, like I said, our scouting report, the kids, really trying to execute the scouting report today. They did everything we asked them. It's just that, she's an extraordinary five because of her size.
Teri, this game kind of had it all. I mean, 19% from three, 40% from the field, early turnovers, foul trouble, everything, especially with conference play kind of starting. Do you think you learned anything new about your team?
I think we're still a really good basketball team. In spite of those numbers, there's a fight to this group, a cohesiveness. They're connected. Because I've watched them shoot it better. I've watched them take care of the ball better. And give credit to UCLA, but we're still one of the best teams in the Big.
This obviously already was an incredibly difficult conference. When you add teams like UCLA and then you're playing USC in the coming weeks, how valuable of a test is this and that game for your team?
Well, they're all valuable. I don't know that one is more valuable than the other because this is such a great league, and so we've been tested early with some early losses. That's tested us where we've had to try to, figure out, as people have heard me say, play with this group because there are some new pieces out there. But I think every game gives you something that, one, you can improve on and get better at, but also you can look at it and say, gosh, this was a great shot for us. It just didn't go down. So we did a lot of really good things today. It's just that, some of those open looks just, wouldn't go down for us.
Coach, how big of a role was the early and frequent whistles play in your team's confidence in defending in the paint in the second half?
Well, it's frustrating. I mean, it is hard because it's very physical. I thought, we're usually tagged a pretty physical team, but I thought UCLA was really physical today. Once we settled into how the game was going to be called, you can look back and forth. I mean, the discrepancies in free throws are about the same. I mean, I could sit in here if it looked different, but I think that was a good crew. Look, officiating's hard. It's hard in a really good league that has outstanding players, and so I don't know that the outcome had anything to do with the officiating today, even though there were some questionable calls on that I thought that happened throughout, and they tried to do their best to answer those. But you miss a few. I mean, that's just part of living with officiating. You know that they're not gonna get it perfect.
Teri, something that kind of stood out about your team over the last few games was just the high assist numbers. I know today you talked about how some of the shots just didn't fall for you, but just in general, only 8 assists on your 22 made shots.
Right.
Did you feel like the ball was moving around well enough to beat a team like this?
Yeah, I did. It's just I don't think that we got out and again give UCLA credit for that. I thought that they slowed us down in transition today. They early tagged us, and they know that's part of what makes us good is our transition and playing in space and playing with pace. And so, I thought they did a good job of really slowing us down intentionally. I mean, I think it was intentional that they tried to, like I said, get somebody to the ball handler quick. And I thought I kept trying to get our gang to try to run faster and harder. But again, UCLA did a nice job.
On the flip side, with Lily and Caroline, Lauren was giving them a lot of space on offense, and they seemed to have
Yeah.
a couple times where they didn't know if they should shoot, second guessing themselves. Do you want them to be quicker and just take the shot? I mean, it depends on the situation. What was your kind of like when you were watching that? What was kind of your?
In those moments with what we were running, Betts was in a low plug. And what we wanted to do was get into some of our zoom action, some of those guard handoffs, where we could at least either get a shot for our guard, and then she has to make a decision to come out of that deep plug, and then you got the roll. If not, then you certainly feel good about a pull up jumper and a 3 with your guards, that was a tough stretch for us because Strip was in there, and again just took a couple ill-advised shots that, once we go back and we show her, these shots aren't for you and Lily per se, and this is why. And so a lot of that stuff is some new stuff that we're doing. We've been working on, and it's just giving, I think, those post players a better understanding of what we're looking for in certain situations. And so we'll fix that.
Part of what you're saying, that they need to play better too on offense in terms of
Yeah, right. I'm just understanding, we're not, we know that she's not going to come out and guard you, so we're not going to, she's going to give you a handful of those, and we're not banking on you shooting in every one of those or half of those are going to go in. We need ball movement, and so. It's just clarity that we have to make sure that Lily and Strip understand. Yep. Thank you, guys.